With YouTube demonetizing independent media, please consider becoming a patron today for just $1 per month. Link below. Hey, what's going on, everyone? My name is Matt Jarbo, and man, Star Wars has had a bumpy 2018. It has. The Last Jedi was just a big old disappointment of a movie. Solo has failed to connect with audiences and theaters, mostly because they didn't go see it. For a multitude of reasons. I believe it had a lot to do with Memorial Day weekend and going up against Deadpool. And a lot of people out there think it had a lot to do with the fact that nobody asked for the film. And also the identity politics put out there by Rian Johnson in The Last Jedi. But not only were there just Solo as a casualty, Colin Trevorrow was clipped from episode 9. And, you know, like, that's a deal. That was a big blow to the franchise at the time. Now J.J. Abrams has jumped on board to take over, and I think that's probably the better move. But the question is why, right? We've heard rumors, speculation over the years, or not over the years, over the months, as to why this happened. But apparently Colin Trevorrow talks about this now in an interview. And it says in an interview with Empire, Trevorrow opened up about the first time about his exit from the sci-fi saga, revealing that he told George Lucas and Mark Hamill his outline for the next chapter and saying that he'll cherish the experience despite leaving the project. Now he says, I don't want to talk about it too much because I don't want to affect the way fans get to see these films. When we were kids, these movies came to us from far away. They were a gift, and the more we talk about how they're made, the more it reveals that they're just movies. But they're not just movies. They're more than that, beyond that. I got the opportunity to tell a story that is a celebration of everything I believe in. I got to tell it to George Lucas. I got to tell it to Luke Skywalker. And those are experiences I will cherish for the rest of my life. Now, okay. So let's kind of break that down for a hot second here. He got to tell it to George Lucas, and he got to tell it to Mark Hamill. Probably because Mark Hamill was going to be involved, he wanted feedback, and he probably also wanted to make sure that he would get the seal of approval, or maybe the nod of approval from George Lucas, wanting to look to a man he probably looks to as a master, as a hero, as a personal god to Colin Trevorrow, and wanted that acknowledgement, wanted that seal of approval. Now, when he says that these movies are a gift, that, you know, that they were a gift the more we talk about them, because they're not just movies, they're more than that. They're beyond that, right? That shows you his love, his adoration for Star Wars, something that many of us revel in, many of us love, and will love, and will continue to love, even once we get past this particular bumpy part in the franchise right now, Fire Kathleen Kennedy. And so that's where we kind of are. But he got to tell it to George Lucas, and he got to tell it to Luke Skywalker, and those are experiences he will cherish for the rest of his life. Now, he's not going into further detail on that, but let's kind of break that down. If those are experiences he will cherish, not the I was chosen to do this, not the I worked with Lucasfilm, not the I worked with Kathleen Kennedy, none of that stuff. It was I got to tell a story to George Lucas and Luke Skywalker. He says Luke Skywalker, not Mark Hamill. He says Luke Skywalker. That's a specific indication. That is a specific thing that's meant to say, in my movie, Luke was alive. This is probably leading into those rumors we heard about one of the reasons why he left the project was because he was fighting with Kathleen Kennedy over Luke Skywalker's death, that it was paramount to his story. Now, his story was probably something that was in line with what J.J. Abrams had put together in his outline that we heard about from Daisy Ridley. And so when Colin Trevorrow sat down with his regular script collaborator, Derek Connolly, and pitched this idea to Lucas and Luke Skywalker, Mark Hamill, that's an experience he will cherish, because I'm pretty sure the response was, oh, that's cool, or that's good, or it was something that would be approving. That's why he's talking about it. If they would have shot it down, if they would have been like, your movie sucks, Trevorrow, what is this, Book of Henry 2? That he would never have talked about that. But because that's not what he said, I guarantee you they liked it. I guarantee you that. I can't wait for the day when all of this is said and done. Like Mark Hamill's on his deathbed and the last words was, Last Jedi sucked, right? And then he leaves this memoir about how much he hates Rian Johnson. That's okay. That's a bit of a fantasy on my end, I'll fully admit. But people being out of their contract and down the road and tell us the true story about all the nonsense going on behind the scenes. And I think when that happens, we'll get a lot more out of this. We'll get a lot more info about this particular turbulent time in the Star Wars franchise, where it seems like the powers that be are backing the wrong players. And when the good people get booted out, they can't talk about it, but they kind of lay little pebbles. They kind of lay little, little tidbits of information out there in order to kind of let the fans know, who can read between the lines, just what's going on. And that's sad, man. That's sad. I would have liked to have seen what Colin Trevorrow brought to Star Wars Episode 9. I liked what he did with Jurassic World. I did. And again, this is a guy who is a student of Spielberg. J.J. Abrams is a student of Spielberg. These are guys who looked to their masters, looked to their heroes for inspiration, and was going to make films in those in the same theme, in the similar spirit. Whereas Rian Johnson made Looper. Why is there telekinesis if it's only a stupid plot device? Looper. That's what I'm talking about here, guys. I feel bad. Looking forward to Colin Trevorrow working on the next Jurassic World movie. And we'll see that in 2021. So, yay for that. But anyway, what do you guys think about this one? Do you think that that Lucas and Mark Hamill enjoyed what he had to say? Do you think that the rumors about him being fired simply because of the whole battling over Luke Skywalker was a reason? Or was it because he just is, apparently a bad director and not a team player? These are things I'm curious to know. Let me know down in the comments. My name is, of course, Matt Jarbo. This has been $3 Theater. Please go ahead and subscribe to the channel, thumbs it up, and support the channel on Patreon, patreon.com/MondayMatt. And I'll talk to you guys later. Have yourself a great day, and peace out.